WeatherScope.
Well, Jeff, it looks like it's going to be another wet weekend for the Pacific Northwest and a skier's paradise in the Northeast. Good evening, I'm Kim Perez.
And I'm Jeff Morrow, and for the Super Bowl Sunday, looking pretty good, actually.
All right.
I was just looking at some of the new computer forecasts for San Diego on Sunday, and it looks pretty good for Super Bowl 32. We'll have a live update from there in just a moment, but let's talk about the snow in New England first of all. And Kim was speaking about a skier's paradise. Oh my goodness, Stowe, Vermont. Yeah, looking good. There are the shredders running up the slopes. They couldn't go up the lift because it was shut down. It was too windy. And I think you see the half pipe here, and there it is in just a second. Kim thinks that's really neat. The old half pipe there, they're doing a little trick off the lip. Yeah, having a good time. That's when the gondola was still working, but they did have to shut that down because of extremely gusty winds, at times 50 to 60 miles an hour. Jim Cantore was reporting from there a little bit earlier this evening, having a ball. And they weren't having a ball in Boston for the most part. Got about 2 inches of snow earlier today. Then it changed or mixed with sleet and freezing rain, and then eventually went to all rain. So a lot of what you're looking at here probably is all washed away off the sidewalks now, and is kind of a slushy mess. But it looks like that should be moving away from Boston as we head through the early part of the day tomorrow. Again, this precipitation will continue to ride to the northeast, but we have several more hours, maybe 4, 5, 6 more hours at least in Boston of steady rain, and it will be rain there. Even some of the interior areas now are changing over to rain instead of the sleet and the freezing rain. Over at Worcester, heavy rain at 32 degrees, but I'm sure down in the valley, some colder air may be trapped there a little bit, might still be icing up on some areas. On back towards Springfield, temperatures just above freezing. But as you head up toward Concord, I just checked the temperatures in the 20s. So as all this moisture heads up over that colder air, Boston 39, so that's rain. New York, it's been rain pretty much most of the time. Albany, still freezing rain. Heavy sleet right now up around Portland, so it's mixing in even up there. And also as we head up toward Augusta, with temperatures in the low 20s or even upper teens, there's lots of sleet mixing in with snow there. As you head farther to the north, it is all snow like we saw up there at Stowe, Vermont. But Stowe appears to be on the back edge of the precipitation now, so your snow is just about over. Jim Cantore was reporting about 9 or maybe 10 inches of fresh new powder there. If you're thinking of maybe heading up late tonight or tomorrow morning, be careful. Very slippery out on some of the highways here. Again, Worcester along the Mass Pike here, that is right at freezing, so there could still be some icing, particularly up toward Fitchburg and Leominster, and Concord and Manchester is in the 20s. Down to the coast, though, it's in the 30s, so it does turn to rain until you head up to Portland, where you get back into the frozen precipitation, the sleet and freezing rain. So we still have a bit of a mess out there for parts of interior New England and northern New England, where the snow will continue to pile up as we head through the overnight hours before ending during the day tomorrow. That's what's going on with our storm in the Northeast. Still a bit of a mess. What about the rest of the nation? Here's Kim.
Thanks, Jeff. Well, you know, the Northeast isn't the only place in the country dealing with snow and rain tonight. The Pacific Northwest also has its share of problems. And earlier today, we even had some severe weather that moved through central Florida. Things are pretty quiet, though, in Florida tonight. That definitely was not the case earlier today. A tornado tore through a mobile home park in Grove City, Florida this morning. Now, Charlotte County officials say several people reported seeing the tornado, and 20 to 25 other homes are reported being damaged. Thankfully, though, no injuries have been reported. And actually, there were several tornadoes in Florida, and I don't think I saw in any of the local storm reports any kind of injuries out there. So some good news there, although probably a lot of folks cleaning up. Now, the storm that brought that severe weather, here it is. Here's the front anyway, the upper level storm, or the system that helped energize those thunderstorms now in the Atlantic. But we're still seeing a few residual showers, and that will probably continue through tonight, maybe into Tampa and to Fort Myers. Here's our water vapor loop showing some drying coming in, most of the really deep moisture here out in the Atlantic right now, but we'll still see a few clouds. Here's our trough, still over the central U.S. and some southwest flow. So we're going to keep it kind of maybe cloudy along the coastal areas and into Florida through tonight. Fort Myers looking at a few showers just off to your west, and maybe later on tonight moving into Tampa. While it looks like Cape Hatteras getting a bout of rain right now, eventually that will probably move into eastern Norfolk at this time. And after that, maybe conditions might improve for a little bit, but we think in the forecast, well, I'm not going to tell you, got to stay tuned for the forecast. How about a little snow here in Iowa and Wisconsin? Madison, even maybe in Chicago later on tonight, a little bit of light snow. No big deal, though. Even our radar showing very light in nature with that disturbance coming through the upper Midwest. Now, the front is through the Pacific Northwest. We have our second one that'll be coming on shore tomorrow. That will also kick up the winds. We've seen winds gusting 20 to 40 miles per hour along the coast, even some light rain and winds gusting to 25 here in Seattle. Some moderate rain reported earlier tonight. We could see that off and on tonight. Snow levels 4,000 feet or so. That'll probably lower maybe to 2,500 feet by Saturday night. Watch out for the winds. We still have advisories up. Now, looking at Southern California, something's going on down here this weekend. Jeff.
Oh, really? I hadn't noticed. Yeah, Super Bowl 32. Less than 2 days away now. A lot of pregame parties underway. So we sent our party man out there. The Weather Channel's Bill